Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So, shall we begin the session? In the last class, that is in the yesterday's class, we have finished with the appendix number C. That is, what is appendix C, how it is used, and what are the various reasonable features that is used by the appendix C. So, we are going to start with appendix C. That is. So in this appendix C, we have studied about the logic model and the performance measures. What is the logic model? What are the various performance measures that is used? That is used with the logic model that provides a facility, that provides an easy starting point. That is how to ease, or what is the starting point for the selection of the meaningful and realistic approach. That includes a feature, that includes a parts that is used with the performance measure or the measure of the performances. And how the overall project works, that is what is the working of the project, how it works, that must be understood in order to identify what's need to be measured. So what needs to be measured, how it is measured. And logic models also shows how the project operates, how it is going to work done, how it is going to operate the project. So logic model also shows how the project operates, and this measures, that is indicator, relate to how well a performance or how well a project performs, particularly with regards to the delivery of the services. Whatever the services, whatever the delivery that is used, so that is used with the regard of the delivery of the services, that is output, and the achievement of the result, that is outcomes. And indicators are used to represent the target, whatever the scenario that is used, so that is used to represent the targets specified at each level of the top model, and they are also the measurable characteristics of how well the targets are achieved and how well the project is performing. So how well the target is achieved, how well the project is performing, that is how the targets are achieved with the measurable units, how the targets are achieved with the measurable characteristics. So how well the targets are achieved and how well the project is performing, that is also a specified model of the target. That is also each model we can say that is used with the outcome, that is used with the output. So that is how it works, how it performs, that we have done in the appendix number C, that is a logic model and the performance measures. That is also a starting point for the selection of the meaningful and the realistic measure of the performance. What is the realistic measure of the performance, how it is done, and how well it is performing the data, how well it is using the data. That is also used with the performance, that is also used with the overall work that must be understood in advance, that must be used in advance or must be understood in order to define, in order to identify what needs to be measured or what is to be measured. So that is logic model that we have discussed in the appendix number C, and the performance measures also indicators, that is relate how well a project is performing, how well a project is defining the term, how well a project is defining the activities, whatever the activity they are performing. Then we have also discussed about the logic model that also flesh out the projects, whatever the project they are using. So they flesh out the project, they are carried out the project with the planners to select what should be measured directly from the model, what should we get from the model. And using the logic model also allows the project planner to select meaningful measures of the performances, what is the measure of the performance, how well it is used, and what are the various levels of the input, output, and the outcomes. And it also recognized how individual projects can contribute to the large scale, that is the program goal. What is the program goal, how it is used, and what are the various outcomes that is used with the program goal, that is used with the large scale or the program outcomes, or with the project learning method, that is used with the project individual, that is used with the individual methods. So that can contribute to a large scale goal, that can contribute to large scale methods. Then next is what are the various common types of the performance measures, what are the various indicators that is used with this. Then what are the various outcomes, so what are the various outcomes that we have discussed, that is SEE condition, practices, CASA, reactions. Then outputs, participation, activities. Then inputs, resources. These are the various inputs. So one is outcome, one is the output, and one is the input. So input is given, outcome is achieved, and output is also generated out. Then we are using the logic model as a tool for program development and evaluation. How to use the logic model as a program development, as a tool for the program development and the evaluation, how we can represent the data, what are the various activities, and what are the various types of the data that is being generated, that is what is the time limit, how it is being generated, why it is being generated. So there is a time limit for the 2 to 3 years, that is a short term, that is immediate in the sense within a year. Then medium term, that is from 2 to 3 years. Then long term, 4 to 10 years. Then outcome impact. So these are the long term outcome impact, short term outcome impact, and the medium-term outcome impacts. And the logic model can also help to identify or guide program planning, implementation, and evaluation. That can also serve as a tool for clarifying a program elements, identify the evaluation questions and indicators, and also conduct the ongoing self-evaluation. What are the various self-evaluation method that is used? That is used with the logic model, that is used with the program development and the evaluations. Then next is what are the various logic model, evaluation question, and the indicator that is being setting out. So one is the input, then outcome impacts. Then what are the various evaluation questions? What do you want to know about the data? What do you want to get about the data? That is the evaluation questions. So were the inputs sufficient and timely? Did they meet the program goals? Then indicators, how will you know it? That is, what are the indicators that is judging out, that is scanning out with the data, that is used with the data. So first is the logic model, then evaluation question and the indicators. Then logic model in the sense, what are the various inputs, what are the various outcomes, what are the various output, that is we have studied that. Output is also divided into two categories. One is activities, one is the participants. Then outcome impact is also divided into three categories. Outcome, that is the short term, medium term, and the long term. Then next is the staff, money, time, material, partner research. Then activities is workshop, publication, services, events, product. Participants is teacher, youth, community members. Then short term is increased knowledge, increased level of the skills. What are the various increased knowledge? What are the various level of the skill that is being judging out, that is being carried out? Then next is a medium term. Then next is a long term. Long term in the sense goal is achieved, goal is targeted out or reached and sustained. Whatever the goal, whatever the criteria that is sustained over the data, that is used over the data. The next is facilitator for the workshop. So that field equipment workshop, material and the supply. So this is one of the example of the input. Then one of the output is achieved over here. One of the activities, workshops focusing on coastal restoration. Whatever the coastal restoration, whatever the data that is gathered out. So this is also one of the activity of the output. Then participants is community members. But whosoever the community member that is living in the coastal area, that are the participants. Participant in the sense who are the member that participate in the various activities, various we can say the provisions. The next is outcomes, that is of the short term. Communication members or community members who participate in workshop understand the basics of the coastal restoration. Then medium term, that is the ongoing participation in restoration activities by community members. Then goal is achieved with the long term in which we are using the species, the diversity in the restored areas increase. Whatever the diversity, whatever the data that is achieved, that achieved with the diversity, that achieved with the species. The next is the evaluation questions. What do you want to know? What do you want to know? What do you want to get? So this is the evaluation questions. For the input sufficient and timely. So for the input that is given is sufficient and timely. Did they meet the program goals? Did all the activities occurs as intended? Whatever the activities that is intended, that is occur. So did all the activities occurs as intended? What was the quality of the intervention? Was the content appropriate? So what is the quality? Was the content appropriate? What are the targeted community members that participates? Who did not participate? Who else was researched? So whatever the activities, whatever the quality, whatever the intervention, whatever the material, whatever the content appropriate, whatever the participants. So every question is activity, or every question of this activity is related with each other. Every question is used with what do you want to know? What do you want to get? What are the various targeted audience? What are the various community members that is used with a targeted audience, and who did not participate? Who else was researched? And then next question is, did the knowledge increase after this one? So after getting the requirement, after knowing the questions, did the knowledge increase? Then next one is, if the knowledge increased, did the understanding of the coastal restoration technique increases or not? Then what else happened? What else happened in the sense, what else the criteria that is happened over here? The next is, are the community members continuing to participate in the restoration activities? Are they participating in other activities? So whatever the material, whatever the activities that is gathered together, so that is used to participate in the activity, that is used to participate in the restoration activities. Then, to what extent has the biodiversity of the target coastal has been increased? What extent in the sense to what target achievement that is increased? In what other ways has the ecosystem quality increased? Qualities increased means whatever the ecosystem, whatever the criteria that is used with the quality systems, that is used with the local procedure, with the targeted audience that is achieved over here. So what extent the biodiversity of the coastal area increases, to what extent and in what ways the ecosystem quality increase. So these are the various targeted audience, these are the various ways by which we can achieve the target, these are the various ways by which we can access the target, that is how we are going to use, how we are going to develop the restorative material. Next one is the indicators. How will you know it? How will you know the indicators? What are the various indicators that is used over here? That is the number of staff, fund invested, delivery timetable. So these are the indicators that we have discussed. The number of the workshop, schedule, what are the various workshops that is scheduled over here, what are the various community members that is scheduled, what are the various participating agents, what are the number of the teachers that attending the workshops, the number percentage with increased knowledge of the coastal restoration, then additional outcome. What are the various additional outcome that is used with this indicator, that is used with the indicator, how will you get to know it? The number percentage using new knowledge and skills to monitor and progress of the restoration activities, that is also additional outcome. And the number of species recovered, other positive environmental benefits, additional outcome, whatever the additional outcome that is used with the indicators. Now, come to the appendix number D, that is the levels of the evaluation. Whatever the levels, what is the, we can say the level that is used with the evaluation. Just wait. Let's see what are the various levels of the evaluation that we are performing. So what are the various level of the evaluation that is performing? That is appendix number C or appendix number D. So as you know from the top model, there are a number of the levels on which we have to evaluate the project. Number of levels in the sense number of ways by which, or number of the activities by which we are performing, we are evaluating the project. And each level also provides different information about the processes and the outcomes. Whatever the processes, whatever the outcomes, whatever the scenarios that is used, that is talked about the processes and the outcome of a project, and the project team should select the levels of the evaluation based on the type of the information needed. So whatever the information that is needed, that is used to evaluate the project accurately, and whatever the level that is used, that is discussed, is in more detail, that is available in this one. So what is the level that is used, what is the criteria that is used for the evaluation? So let's see what are the various evaluation, what are the various criteria that is based on the information that is necessary to, or that is needed to need the project, that is needed to build the project. So whatever the necessary criteria, whatever the scenario that is used, that provides the information in the about the activities, about the processes, about the project. And the project team should select the level of the evaluation. What is the main level of the evaluation based on the type of the information? For example, if I need a evaluation that is not we can say not, that is not hi-fi, so that is not fruitful. When we say that the information is required, when we say information is gathered to evaluate the project accurately, and the levels are discussed in more details in over here. First one is scaling the program development, or scaling the data requirement, or scaling the program evaluation staircase. Staircase in the sense whatever the staircase method, whatever the evaluation method that is used with the scaling method, that is used with the program evaluation staircase. So first one is SEE conditions. What are the various SEE conditions that is targeted, that is used? So have the targeted social, economic, or environmental conditions that is based, or that is changed as a result of the targeted changes in the behavior and how well the participants have been affected, or how the participants will be used in the changing environment. That is also SEE condition. The next is the practices. What are the various, whatsoever the SEE conditions, whatsoever the practices, whatsoever the CASA knowledge that is available with the detail extension. So this is a question: did the participants' behavior changes as a result of the knowledge, attitude, skills, or aspiration that is learned during the project? What did the participants learn? What did the participant learn about the CASA? What is the various hearing of the project or the program development staircase? And what did the participants learn? Did the participants improve the skills and the ability? Then next one is the reactions. What is the main reaction of this one? So what were the participants' responses to the project or activities? What are the various project or activities that is participated? Were the participants satisfied with the project activities? So whether the participants are satisfied with the project activity, this is also next question. So what were the participants' responses to the project or activities? Were the participants satisfied with the project activities? This is the next question. Then next is the participation. How many of the targeted audience, how many of the targeted criteria audience attended the project? Were the participants engaged in these activities? So were the participant that is engaged in the activities, were the participant that is available or audience is available in the activity that has attended the project? Then activities, were activities implemented as planned? So whatever the activity that we are planned, that is as per the requirement, and what are the various promotional strategies that is worked or failed? So what are the various strategies, what are the various criteria that is worked or failed? So what are the various plans that we are going to maintain, that we are going to do with the targeted audience? Then next is the resources. Were the targeted resources expended on the program? That is around the time, staff, and money. So whether the project is expended with the time, whether the project is used with the time. So were the targeted resources expended on the program, whether it is used with the staff, whether it is used with the time, whether it is used with the money. So what is the extended program? What are the various resources? Were the targeted resources are available? Were the expanded program are available? Whatever the need, whatever the criteria that we are using, that is used with the recorded data, that is used with the recorded material. So first one is the SEE conditions, that is used for the targeted social, economic, or environmental condition. Next is the practices, that is used with the behavior change. Next is the CASA. Next is the reactions. Next is the participation. Whatever the participation methods, whatever the participation criteria that is used with the targeted audience that attended the project, what the participants engaged in the activities, what the participants are used in the activities. Then what are the various activities? So these are planned, these are scheduled, or these are not scheduled activities, but promotional strategies are used or worked or failed. So whether the promotional strategies are worked, whether they are used or failed, then what are the various what are the targeted resources expended in the program, whether it is used with the staff, time, or money, that is the resources. And these are in a detail, that is the level 1 resources, level 2 resources, and so on. This I'm going to continue in detail. What are the various levels of where are the various levels of this one in the next class, that in the Monday's class. Till now, any doubts anyone in the today's session, any doubts anyone in the assignment, anything